Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of Izzy Cinematic Escape on YouTube. I'm your host Izzy. Anyone who is new to the channel and happen to find it through the YouTube search engine, feel free to hit the subscribe button below if you enjoy my work and spread the word if possible. Anyone who isn't new and has stuck with me through the beginning of the process of my YouTube channel, thank you and continue to spread the word, please, if possible. Today's review, I was wrestling with how I was going to approach it. Primarily because I wasn't sure how people were going to respond to it, whether on YouTube or Facebook. So having said that, I want everyone to understand that this review is focusing on primarily on the performances and the acting and, well, the performances, the storytelling, and the quality nature of the overall presentation of the film. I'm not wanting it to veer into any unnecessary political debates or any unnecessary heated arguments that will dilute the overall content of what I'm attempting to present with everybody here. I understand that this film is one of the most talked about films in cinematic history. I understand that there are a lot of people who have passionate debates and beliefs, and that's fine. I'm one of those type of people too. But this review and this channel is all about escapism, so please, if for whatever reason, if you want to take it into a different direction, then you're free to do so on another forum. But just I want this review to remain focused on its original intention. Having said that, today's review is based off the 1998 cult classic American History X, starring Edward Norton, Edward Furlong, Stacy Keach, Beverly D'Angelo, Ethan Suplee, and Fairuza Balk. The film I can remember very vividly where I was when I first watched it. I didn't watch it in 1998. I got together with a group of friends of mine. It was around 2006 and 2007, where at the time, I want to say that one of them discovered it at a video store. And at the time, I do remember seeing American History X at video stores quite a bit. It just wasn't a film that I was interested in at the time. But we all got together with a mutual friend that lived down the street from me. And we watched it one afternoon. And I remember sitting there physically and emotionally engaged with the overall content of the film. American History X is a story about Derek Vineyard, who at the time was a passionate, young, charismatic, militant white supremacist leader who has all these ideas of how he wants other like-minded individuals to progress in their life while maintaining a separate status from those who were different from them. It wasn't until that he was charged with a horrific, brutal murder that he finds himself regretting his past discretions, and he's attempted to right the wrongs of his past. Unfortunately, on his end, he has a younger brother, Danny, played by Edward Furlong, who was on the same destructive, chaotic path that he was on, in an attempt to impress his brother through the myriad of mental training that he's experiencing with the other like-minded individuals. But as we journey through the course of the film, we realize that not only are we witnessing everything from Derek's perspective, but it's from Danny's perspective as well. Danny is about to be expelled from school after writing a research paper on Adolf Hitler's Mein Kampf. And under the tutelage of his principal, he is ordered to write a new paper based off the experiences of his brother after being released from prison and what landed him in that environment. The class is titled American History X, hence the title of the film. From my perspective, American History X is one of the most emotional and uncomfortable films to watch from any end of the spectrum, because I can remember how I felt afterwards. And as much as I love the film, and when it comes to the acting performances, Edward Norton does a fantastic job. He truly becomes a living embodiment of Derek Vineyard. And one of the things that I've always wondered about actors overall is whenever they have to portray a certain characteristic of that character, that whether it's irredeemable or not, particularly irredeemable, what type of mindset do they have to put themselves in order to channel that same type of sentiment and emotion, whether it's being flat out despicable, whereas Derek is just pure, unbridled, guided hate. I mean, at the time, he's very organized, he's focused, and how Edward Norton was able to channel that type of energy and rawness and honesty from that character's perspective, how he was able to channel that was just phenomenal and absolutely perfect. You truly believed everything that he was saying, and he captivates the screen. The one scene that I remember very vividly is the dinner scene that he's having with his family when they're discussing the controversy of the Rodney King beatings, and I want to say Rodney King happened in 1991-92. Anyone who, feel free to correct me if I'm wrong on this, but I want to say it was 91 and 92. but they're discussing the controversy of the Rodney King beating along the riots that occurred afterwards. And that scene is still one of the most powerful, raw, and authentic moments of the film. I can just Edward Norton just jumps out at the screen, and how he did not win an Academy Award for this film is just mind-boggling to me, and dare I say, blasphemous. Edward Furlong does a great job as the impressionable, naive, and idealistic of his mindset that Danny Vineyard. I've always enjoyed the work of Edward Furlong, anyways, ranging from Terminator 2, Pet Sematary 2, Brain Scan. So I mean, he's been in a myriad of films that I've happened to enjoy throughout the years. But he does a great job within this. But again, the story and the film belongs to Edward Norton, just phenomenal. What I also enjoyed about the film was how Tony Kaye utilized different characteristics in terms of presenting the story, and how his presentation was. The present sequences were filmed obviously in color, and how the flashbacks were all in black and white. And it reminded me more or less of The Crow, how The Crow graphic novel was all in black and white, and the overall cinematic presentation was very black and white, and black and white, gritty, dirty, and even the flashbacks of The Crow were all in a very heavenly, ethereal type of color. And it's the same with American History X. I always found that an interesting comparison between the two was how the present sequences were very reminiscent in an ethereal, colorful fashion, and the black and white moments, the flashbacks they were gritty, dirty, very realistic, and raw. There are several moments in the film that still to this very day resonate with me to the very core. The scene where Derek and his friends beat these gang members in basketball, and then the gang members, for trying to gain some form of retribution, attempt to rob Derek and his family, and it results in horrific consequences. In that scene, anyone who has watched this film knows exactly what scene I'm talking about. Just chilling. Another scene is when Derek thought that he found like-minded individuals in the prison system, that it results in horrible consequences on his end when he realizes they didn't share his same beliefs. But one of the most beautiful moments of the film, from my perspective, is the turning point. And the turning point is one of the most emotional, soulful, and just genuine moments that you truly believe that this character is making a turn for the better. But having said that, American History X, what keeps it for me from receiving a perfect score on my end is the ending. I absolutely despise the ending. No matter how many times I have watched this film, and I've watched it quite a bit, I can never watch the ending ever again. I remember when the ending first occurred, when I was watching with a group of friends of mine, I seriously, for about 2 or 3 hours, I did not say a word. I got up and left after those 2 or 3 hours. I just didn't say a word to them and just walked on home, because that is how powerful the ending it was for me, and that's just how much I hated it. And even when I watch it and I realize that it's coming close to the end, I always stop it, and I know exactly where to stop it. But overall, I love American History X. It's still one of the greatest films ever made, and it would receive a perfect score from me if it wasn't for the ending in and of itself. I understand the process of the ending and why they decided to go that route in terms of explaining how the cycle of hate is just a constant repeating cycle, and it doesn't yield any type of real genuine results. It's all just a process that we're just in the continual time loop, and no matter how many times we try to end the cycle of hate, it's still there. But when that scene in particular, absolutely hate it. Like I said, when it gets to that, when I see that's getting close to that moment, I always stop it. But overall, I love American History X. Still one of the greatest films ever made, and quite underrated, and a masterpiece. Still one of those type of films that I know that you have to watch it when you're in the mood. You can't simply take it and watch it on a consistent basis. You have to be able to sit there and understand this is exactly the reason why you're watching it, and it's a mood film. But either way, I have to give it a 2 thumbs up. Final score, 4 out of 5. It would be a perfect 5 if it wasn't for the ending. That is my review of American History X. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you want, and you happen to watch the film, let me know what you thought about it. Provide a like, and provide a thumbs up on my YouTube, and provide a comment on my Facebook page. If you didn't like it and you just want to provide a thumbs down, that's okay as well. Either way, I'm looking forward to hearing what you guys thought about the film, and that's my review. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and you'll be hearing from me again. Take care, and peace out.